Yeah. So what did we learn in our previous session? We have learned how to work
Difference
with.
between CSS, XPath,
Okay. And
working with CSS and XPath.
okay. So we learned what is CSS, what is the difference between XPath and CSS, and then we have seen the techniques to find the elements in CSS, and then we have written some small program using CSS technique. And I gave you the remaining task to add the employee. Then later we discussed the theoretical part of the synchronization. Why do we need synchronization and why do we need synchronization? What are the different types of synchronization? So since yesterday Bobby is not there, I'll just take a short review of yesterday's theoretical part. Okay. So synchronization is used to make your program or make your Java code or make your Selenium code make or go or run in sync with the application. So what happens generally is when you when you're running this program is sending instructions to your browser to perform this operation. Okay, we are just sending to perform this operation, and this is synchronous. So it will complete this operation and then it will go to this operation. Without completing this operation, it will never go to this second operation. I mean, without entering the username, it will not go to the password. Okay. All right. So when we are trying to perform these operations and click on login, once you click on login, it will take a little while for the page to open and click on the PIM module, right? We should be able to see the home page. Then only we'll be able to click on the PIM module. Since it was opening within the time frame, default time frame, we do not see any issues. We were able to click on the PIM module. But for some of the sites, you have to wait for more than the required time or more than the default time, that is 20 seconds or 30 seconds. Okay, if the page is being loaded for more than 30 seconds, your script, this one, whatever we wrote, this script will wait only for 30 seconds for that element by default, only for 30 seconds. So what happens after that 30 seconds? If this element is found within the 30 seconds, then it will go successfully. I mean, it will perform the operation successfully. But if it doesn't, then it throws an exception saying that element not found. Okay, but actually the element is there on the application. But why is it throwing the exception? Because we haven't waited until the page loading is completed. Okay, the element is not loaded, the XPath is correct and the logic is correct and the operation is correct, but we haven't loaded on we haven't waited until the application is loaded. So that is the reason this step might fail when we are doing synchronization. Okay, so to make that synchronize, that means your script and the application go in the same pace, same speed, we use synchronization techniques. Okay, we have two types of synchronization techniques. Those are implicit wait and explicit wait. Implicit wait is applied at the driver level. Okay, once you apply at the driver level, that will be applicable. That means implicit wait is not written here. Implicit wait is written here once you get the driver. Okay? Or you can also apply at the class level. Once you just get the driver, we are getting the driver. Right after getting the driver, you can apply the implicit wait. So that what happens is wherever you are using this driver object, that wait will be applicable. That is implicit wait. You are not applying any conditions. You are just seeing the driver to wait for something without any conditional, or you are not specifically mentioning that you just wait for this element, you wait for this particular page to load, you wait for this drop down to display. So we are not mentioning those kind of conditions. Implicit wait means we are just mentioning the timeout time, and then your script, whatever, wherever the elements are not found at that time, this implicit wait will be automatically applied. Okay, that is implicit wait. and we have explicit wait. Explicit wait is specific to that particular point. That means if you want to wait for a particular element, you can use this explicit wait. You want to wait until the page is completely loaded, then you can use explicit wait. Understood the difference between implicit wait and explicit wait? This is applied at the driver level. This is applied at the specific instance. I mean, at that particular situation, particular element. Okay, we have various ways to apply conditions using explicit wait, but implicit wait we do not have any conditions. It is applied at the driver level. Okay, now let us see first the implicit wait. Okay, now anyway, we already have the last class C7, right, working with CSS. Now there are multiple types of implicit waits. Let us see that. Create another class. It's okay, we can use in the same class. Implicit wait. Okay, so here after getting the driver, it is better to apply implicit waits after, right after getting the driver. So that is the reason I'm applying implicit wait at this point. Okay, so here how can we apply? We are applying the implicit wait at the driver level. So I'm using driver dot manage dot, and then what are we applying? Implicit wait is to check the timeouts, right? So that is why we are managing the timeouts. Driver dot manage dot timeouts, and in timeouts, what are the timeouts that we are trying to maintain, or what are the timeouts that we are going to apply? We have 3 timeouts that are available in Selenium. One is implicitly wait. This is the first one. So implicitly wait is again taking 2 arguments. You see, long, first parameter is long parameter. You see, first one is taking long argument, and the second one is time. So here we have to mention how many seconds do you want to wait for the elements to load if it is not found. For example, I mean, here, suppose you clicked on login. By default, it is going to wait for 20 seconds. Okay, but I don't want to wait only for 20 seconds. I want to make it 30 seconds. Okay, I can use here 30. Not only for this element. For suppose this is loaded within 30 seconds, so it will perform the operation. But after clicking on PAM, add employee link is not being displayed. So to click on this operation or to click on the add employee, it will wait for 30 seconds. So when you apply this at the driver level, we are applying this implicitly wait at the driver level, right? So when you apply this at the driver level, whatever the elements, whatever the operations that you are performing on the driver, those will be this implicitly wait will be applied on those elements wherever it is required. It will be automatically applied. You don't have to mention that wait for this element for 30 seconds. It will be automatically applied. Okay, and then the second property is time unit. So yeah,
okay. I thought I'm asking why that null that you got given.
I was explaining, so I did not type. Now I'm updating it. Okay, the first parameter is the time unit of long. So we added 30. That means this is time 30 seconds. We are telling our script that we are going to wait for 30. But what is this 30? Is it minute, hour, second, days, right? So that is the reason there is a second property. That is, you see here, the first one is long, which is taking a number value, and the second one we are mentioning the time unit. Okay, time unit is of class type or a time unit object. See, this is long, so we know that it's a number, and you see this is time unit. Okay, so we have to create a property, or we have to pass a value which is of type time unit. We do not know what is having in time unit, so there is a class called a time unit. Okay, I'm using that class. Since that is a static, I can just use dot directly, class name dot, and I'll be able to access all the variables, which are all the constants which are created in this class. Okay, so there are multiple constants. You see here, days, hours, microseconds, milliseconds, minutes, nanoseconds, and seconds. If generally implicitly wait will be applied at seconds, so I can use this seconds. if you want to apply 2 minutes or 3 minutes based on the application. See, your application is too slow, and it's okay, your business accepted it, and there is no way that you can improve the performance of it. So you can use these minutes, you can change this to 3, and you can use these minutes, 3 minutes for each operation. Okay, it's up to us which one do we want to use. Generally we will use seconds. So that means I am applying, I am seeing my driver that whenever you don't find any of these elements, okay, or whenever you are trying to perform the operation, it is not being performed, just wait until 30 seconds and try it again. Okay, so this meaning is that, implicitly meaning is that. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
And then similarly we have 2 other methods, right? Driver dot manage dot timeouts dot. We have seen what is implicitly wait. Okay, now we have set script timeout and page load timeout. Page load timeout, so these are the 2 things that we majorly use. So this is for the elements to find and perform the operation. This is for the element to this is for the script to wait for the element. Implicitly wait is waiting for the elements to perform the operation. Okay, whereas page load timeout is waiting for the pages to load. That means suppose, yeah, you see now the page is loading, right? So in such cases, if I click on this and this page is loading, when you use this page load timeout, when you click on something, the page might load for longer duration. So at that time, if you want to wait for some time, or the maximum time to wait for a page, if you want to wait for it, then you can set that using page load timeout. Generally we will give this as 60 seconds. Okay, and this is also seconds, so I will use time unit dot seconds, or 60 seconds is nothing but a minute, right? 60 seconds is nothing but a minute, so I can make it 1, and instead of seconds I can make it as minutes, 1 minute. Understood? Is that clear? So if you want to wait for an element to perform an operation, then by default it will wait for 30 seconds. Before 30 seconds it will not throw any exception. Okay, and after 30 seconds, if it is still not found, then it will throw an exception. I mean, even if you write this or if you don't write this, defaultly it will throw an exception after some duration if the element is not found. Okay, I'll show you that. I'll show you the difference. Okay, so these are the 2 things. One is waiting for the element and the other one is waiting for the pages. I can show you this element waiting or element synchronization, but I cannot show this because I cannot stop a page from loading, right? So I cannot show this as example, but I can show this example. The page load timeout will also work in the same way as implicitly wait, but this is looking for the page to be loaded, but this is looking for the element to be visible on the application. Okay, all right. Now I know, you see, we are clicking on add employee, right? Now let me open this manually to make it pass or to make it fail. Okay, I'm showing both orange HRM. All right, why do we have to go without clicking on login? I'll just comment out this login. So when I enter username and password, I'm not clicking on login, but I'm trying to click on PIM. Without clicking on login, will I click on PIM? Will I be able to click on PIM? No, right?
No.
Now let me comment these implicitly wait. Okay, observe it. Observe the timing. When will the exception be thrown? Okay, now let me just run this script. Observe it, how much time it is taking and when it will throw the exception that PIM is not found. Okay. See, this is where page load timeout will be applicable. Okay. See, did it wait for any time? It just entered the username and password, and then it's throwing that this is not found. You see, unable to locate element, right? You see this exception? No such element, unable to locate exception. The exception name is no such element exception. This is the exception, no such element exception. See it, right? So automatically it will throw an error because this is not found. When I run, it entered username, password, and directly through the exception. Okay, I'll do one thing just to show you that. I'll also comment this maximize code. Okay, so that it won't maximize, you can see both at the time. That's it. I'm running again. Observe it. Right after entering the password, it will throw the exception. You see? Right? Observed, right?
Yeah.
Now let us apply this implicitly wait. I'm applying this implicitly wait. Still, I'm not clicking on login, but I'm trying to click on PI. Now let's see what happens. I'm just running. I just uncommented this implicitly wait. Okay. Now observe it. Is it? Did it throw the error? You see, it's still not throwing the error because we have applied implicitly wait at the driver level. So it will wait for 30 seconds. It is going to search for that PAM link up to 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, if it is still not found, then it will throw the exception. Now let's wait for 30 seconds and see. You will see that exception. Did you see it? Right? You understood the difference between without implicit wait and with implicit wait? Hello. This is important topic. Every day you'll need this. Sharap, Yanji, and Bobby. You understood this,
Can
right?
you do it again?
With implicit or without implicit?
Without.
Okay. I'm commenting this. If I'm commenting this, that means this is not running, right? That means the implicit wait is not applied. Okay. Now I'm running it again. Observe. You see, directly through the exception right after entering the password. Observed it, na?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now I'll uncomment this and I'll run again. That means we are applying this implicit wait for all the elements, any element, for any element. Okay. It will wait for 30 seconds to throw the exception because what is happening in those 30 seconds? It is searching again and again for that particular element. It is not simply waiting for 30 seconds and throwing the error. There is no purpose of doing like that. After entering the password, we are trying to click on PIM link, but this is not showing the PIM link. So it is waiting for 30 seconds, and in that 30 seconds, it is searching for that PIM link again and again. If it is found, then it will perform the operation. If it is not found, even after 30 seconds, then it will throw the exception. You see, it's still not throwing. That means we are waiting 30 seconds here is not yet done. You see, now you got the exception.
Yeah.
So you understood the difference, or you understood what is implicit wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Similarly, this is similarly with page load timeout. See, I cannot stop. I know this. If I am doing a comment in this, I know I cannot go to this page, but I cannot stop a page from loading within 1 minute, right? So I cannot show you by show this to you by example. Okay, I cannot say within 1 minute or within 1 second or within 2 seconds, because the pages are being loaded within short span, right? So I cannot show you this as example, but this works in a similar manner to this implicit wait. When the page is trying to load, it will wait for 1 minute. Maximum time is 1 minute. Understood? Is that clear?
Yes, Nikhil.
Okay. So now there is one more thing which is called as script timeout driver dot manage dot timeouts dot script time set script timeout. This is also one of the timeout that we can apply, but generally we don't use this because we are not using JavaScript. If you are running using JavaScript and you want to fail if the JavaScript is not executed within some short span of time, then we use this. Okay, but generally we don't use this. Okay, we use only implicitly wait and page load. Since we are not at the JavaScript level now, so I'm skipping this. Okay, JavaScript, using JavaScript with Selenium, I'll show you in later classes. Okay, that is also one of the topic. So this is all about implicit wait. Now let us see explicit wait so that you can understand the difference between implicit and explicit. I'm going to create a new class. New class C8 underscore explicit, and in explicit wait we are going to use WebDriver wait for now. Okay, there are two types of explicit waits. What are those? Do you remember Sharap or Angie? Yesterday we discussed. What are the two types of explicit waits? I'll tell you. So explicit wait is divided into, explicit wait can be applied in two different types again. So those two types are WebDriver wait and fluent wait. WebDriver wait and fluent wait. Selenium is providing us these two classes, WebDriver wait class and fluent wait class, for us to help synchronize our script with the application. Understood?
Yeah.
So let us see that now. Common things common. So I'm just copying these two lines. And you can also apply implicit wait and explicit wait both. Okay, why? Because explicit wait is applied at the element level. You can apply it to a particular element, not the complete driver. If you are applying your explicit wait to a particular element, then what about the other elements or other lines? You need some waiting synchronization, right? So that is why you can apply both implicit and explicit in the same script. Okay, so I'm copying all this. We need maximizing as well. Okay, so here I'll show you something using WebDriver wait. So WebDriver wait explicit synchronization. Okay, explicit synchronization. Now to apply this WebDriver wait, we have to create, because this WebDriver wait is a separate class, so we have to create an object for it, right? So I'm going to create an object for it. WebDriver wait. You see, there is a class in org.openqr.selenium.support.ui, right? This is supporting the UI, right? Synchronization. So that is why it is inside that class. Now I will create an object for this class. I'll say the object name as wait is equals to new WebDriver wait. You see, WebDriver wait has three different constructors, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we we are going to use the first one, which is taking the driver object as well as the timeout in seconds. Now, let me take the driver. We have stored in the driver variable, so this is coming automatically, and the timeout unit in seconds. I want to wait for 30 seconds. For example, I want to wait for 30 seconds for something to happen. Okay, 30 seconds. That's okay. We are passing the driver and we are giving the timeout. But for what are we waiting here? For what? Right? We should know that. So for that, we use wait dot until. Okay. This is the method that we are going to use, or we are going to apply from WebDriver class, WebDriver wait class. Okay, and then until we have another function or another class called expected conditions, which is already by default having all the conditions, almost all the required conditions defined inside this class, and we are going to use those conditions. Expected conditions dot. You see here is displaying the list of conditions. Alert is present. If you are waiting for an alert, you can use this. Or attribute contains. If you want to check if an attribute is containing some particular value, or if you want to check some by passing some comments, and then attribute to be. If you want to wait until the attribute changes to something. So like this, element selection state to be, elements to be clickable, element to be clickable, element to be selected, frame to be available, frame related options, invisibility off. If you want to wait until something disappears. Okay, and then this is number of elements to be. Right, when you add, suppose yeah, like for suppose when you are adding users, the number of rows will be automatically increased. Right, so if you want to wait until that number of rows to be increased, right, and presence of all elements, presence of an element located at, you see, whatever the text to be, if you want the text to be changed from one thing to the other thing. Okay, so and then URL to be to a title. If you want to change, if you are waiting until the title changes, like this, you have n number of conditions. You can use or any of these conditions. Okay, for suppose now let me go to this Orange HRM and let us observe this username field. Okay, currently okay, this is inside it, and now you see here class form hint, and then username is displayed here, and then observe div id, text put id, name, text. Okay, once I click on it, you see here the style is changing to display :none. You see it? When I click on it, the style is changed, right? Did you observe it?
No.
Okay, let me show you again. I'm refreshing the page. Okay, now you see here username, the text which is inline text or default text in the username box. There is a text, right?
Yeah.
That this is the element in the HTML. Okay, it is highlighting, you see, in the blue color. Here also it is blue color, and here also it is blue color when I hover over it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now observe this span tag, okay, which is having only class is equals to form hint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now when I click on it, observe it. What is happening?
Nothing.
Right, because when we click on it, the developer wants to hide the default text, right? So that is why they are changing the style to display :none.
Oh, okay.
Right, so until we click on it, this will not happen, right? Whenever we click on it, the style will be changed. Agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let us wait for the same thing. Okay, explicitly wait for the same thing, same attribute to be, style attribute to be display :none. Okay, expected okay, we are on the login screen only, right? Expected conditions dot attribute contains or attribute to be. Okay, so which attribute? Attribute to be. we are using this, and this is going to have 3 parameters. One is locator, second one is what is the attribute, and what is the value it should have. Okay, understood? These are the 3 parameters. First one, we have to find that element, which element. Second one, for that element, what is the attribute that you are looking to change, right? What should be the value in it? Okay, 3 parameters. Understood? Now let us pass those. Okay, what is the element? I'm going to find that element just before this. Driver dot find element, and I want this one span tag, right? So we know that we are identifying this input tag, or you can identify this div id username and then go to this span tag. Control F /div id is equal to div at the rate of id is equals to div n is small div username, and from here I want to go to the span, right? Span. All right, this is how I have to identify the element. Now I found this xpath. Dot find element y dot xpath. You know why am I going for xpath? Because for this span tag, do I have any attributes? I have only class, but the same class form hint will be present for the password as well, right? It will be showing me duplicate objects or duplicate elements, right?
Mhm.
So that is the reason I did not use the class attribute of span tag to identify it. I found something unique near it. So what is unique? This division is unique. Div username, it has a unique ID. So I found it and then I went to span. How did I go? Because this span is the child of this div. So I use / to go to the span. That's all. Understood? Normal generic XPath tag technique. I found that element. Now I will store this element inside a web element. Web element. I'll say hint. Okay. Uname hint. All right. Now this is a web element I have to pass here. Okay. On this web element. And what is the second parameter? You see, second one is attribute name. So I have to give the attribute name. What is the attribute name that we are looking for? Style, right? Style. And then what is the value that this attribute should come? It should have this value. Understood what I am doing here? Just to show you example, I'm using this.
Okay.
Understood this example, or you didn't understood why did I use this style and why am I using this?
So till that attribute comes, the driver will wait for 30 seconds.
No. It is not going to come with this attribute and value. We are going to wait for 30 seconds until this attribute becomes display : none. Why am I doing this is because once you maximize, are we clicking on the username? No, right? We are not clicking on the username. We are, after maximizing, what are we doing? We are just finding that hint element and then asking to wait for 30 seconds. This will not happen in 30 seconds. I can show you. See, I cannot stop an element from loading, but I can stop doing operation so that this will not happen, right? You understood my point or not?
Not sure.
Okay. See, this explicit wait, the intent of this explicit wait or explicit synchronization technique is to wait for a particular element. Okay. So what based on what are we waiting? we cannot blindly wait for an element, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the reason I created, this is where I'm getting the instance of WebDriver wait so that I can use the methods inside this WebDriver wait class. Okay, so wait dot until, and this until is expecting a function inside it, and all those functions are already written in expected conditions class. So I am using expected conditions dot. Okay, this expected conditions dot is having so many methods which can be applied or which can be used as conditions for that particular element, right? Visibility of, visibility of, visibility of. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll comment this for now. I'll comment this attribute to be, I'll use visibility of. Okay. All right. I'll also comment this implicit wait so that we'll better understand. Go to the C7 and then I'll use the C as it is for. Okay, so here I do not have implicit wait, right? I do not have implicit wait. I do not have explicit wait. I did not apply any conditions. Forget about this explicit thing. Now, when I run this, what will happen? After entering the password, it will right away throw the exception, right? Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
We have seen, right? When we don't have implicit wait, then if you are doing this operation, it will throw the exception right away. Now I don't want to throw the exception right away for this element. I want to apply some conditions. I want to make this script wait until that condition is matched or the timeout is happened. Okay, so for that reason, what I'm going to do is here, before clicking, I know that after entering the password, it is going to take some time to see the PIM link. So that is why I'm going to apply some WebDriver explicit wait for that particular element. Okay, WebDriver, where is that WebDriver? Okay, I'm applying wait is equals to new WebDriver wait. Okay, okay. I want to wait for this PIM link for around 60 seconds. Okay, I want to wait for that element for 60 seconds. Okay, now I want to apply that condition. What is the condition? I want to wait until this is displayed on the screen or until that is visible on the screen, until the PIM link is visible on the screen. Okay, wait down until. Okay, until. What is that? What is the expected condition? Element is okay. Is presence of element. Okay, we have this. Where is this? Visibility of elements. Visibility. Let's see. Alert is framed to be invisibility. No, not invisibility. We want visibility. Yeah, you see here presence of. Okay, presence of element located by locator. Where is that? Text to be title contains, URL contains, or yeah, you see visibility of that is the content. So I want to wait for the visibility of element, but what element? I want to wait for this particular element. Okay. So I am passing that here. I can store it in a variable and pass that variable here, or I can simply I can directly find that element inside this. That's okay. Okay. So now, what did we do? Ignore the commented ones. We got the driver object, and then we opened this URL. We maximized the browser window, and then we entered the username. We entered the password without clicking on login. We are waiting for this PIM link. Okay, we are waiting until that is being displayed on the page. How much time we are waiting for? 60 seconds. Okay, now I'll run the same program 2 times. One, I will not do any operation, so it will wait for 1 minute and then it will throw an exception. So I don't want to wait for 1 minute, or I don't want to keep it on hold for 1 minute. So I'm going to make it 20 seconds. Okay, or I can make it 30 seconds. That's fine. So I want to wait for 30 seconds. It will search for the visibility of this particular element. That means it is searching whether this element is displayed on the page for 30 seconds. I mean, within 30 seconds or not. It will wait for 30 seconds and then it will throw an exception. And in the second iteration, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the login link manually so that it will find this element, right? Forget about the second one. Now let us run the first iteration. That means I won't do any operation. I'm not clicking on login. It will wait for this particular element for 30 seconds and then it will throw the exception. That you can observe. Okay. I'm also commenting this Maximus so that you can see it side by side. So it should not throw the exception right away. No such element. What? It should not throw the exception right away. It should wait for 30 seconds for the presence of this element actually. Let me run again. Now implicit is 0, page load is 3 lakh milliseconds. Okay, that is 1 minute. Script time or default time is being uploaded 30 seconds. Just give me a second. Okay, we are asking to find this element here, so that is why it is so I understood why it is throwing this error. I cannot show you this example because we are unable to find this particular element, right? Driver.find element. I'm asking to find an element and it is not finding an element. So I'll do one thing. I'll use the old logic only, I mean old concept. There is nothing but this. Okay. I'll execute and show you so that you'll understand if you don't understand something. Okay. So here, okay, I'll close that. Now you see here, you are following my screen, right? You're able to see my screen. You're able to follow my screen, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I won't be able to apply the WebDriver weight on that particular element because to apply the weight, I have to wait. I have to find that element and then wait for that element to be visible. So that is the reason that was failing. Right? In element to be visible also, we are again finding that particular element. So that is why it is throwing an error. Now, we have this element. We don't have to worry. It will throw an exception. We have this element, right? The span text into one here, right?
Yeah.
This will be default present. So it will not throw any exception. That element not found exception is not thrown by default because it will be always present. Okay. But I am giving a condition. I applying a condition over here for this element whose attribute style to be changed to display colon none. When is this happening? When we click on this, right? When we click on this, then only it is happening. Until then, the style is not going to change, or the style attribute is not going to appear here, right? Agree? So the same thing. Now here, after getting this window, I'm just waiting for that attribute to be changed. Without performing any operation, this attribute will never change. Right? Now let's see it. See, it's waiting for something. It is not going further and entering the username. You see, it will not enter. And after the 30-second duration, it will throw us an exception. Expected condition failed. Now you will understand it. And after this, again, I'll run so that you will see the difference. Now you see the exception, right? What is the exception? Timed out exception. What timeout exception? Let's see. Let's further read this console. I'm maximizing it. Now you see here what timeout exception? Expected condition fail. Which expected condition? Waiting for style to be display colon 9. So what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for the style to be? Display colon none. But what is the current style? It is empty. Before clicking on it, what will happen? There won't be any style applied to it, right? So that is why it's empty. How much time it tried? It tried for 30 seconds. At what intervals did it check for this property? It checked for every 500 milliseconds by default. So for 30 seconds, it is going to check for every half second. For every half second, it is going to check whether the style attribute changed, style attribute changed, style attribute changed. Whenever it finds that the style attribute is changed, then it will go to the next step. Okay. Now I did not do anything, or I did not interrupt anything. Now let us run this once again. But at this time, now what I'm going to do is, when the page is opened, I am going to manually click on this button so that automatically the style will be changed, right? So to know when I have to click on it, I'll say started waiting for style to change. Okay, I'm just writing this for my information so that I can click on the username. Now let's see again. You observed, right? The previous execution, it waited for 30 seconds and it threw the exception that the timeout exception and the attribute did not change, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me run this again. Once I see the statement in console, I'll click on the username so that the hint text will be gone and next steps will be performed. Okay, it is waiting for the attribute to change. I'll click on it. You see, did it enter the username and password?
Yeah.
But earlier,
No.
it did not, because this expected condition, this synchronization didn't happen there earlier. Now it happened. Is that clear now?
Yeah.
So if you want to see here, to show you example, I did it manually. I clicked on the username manually, but in real time, suppose, let me find some scenario to explain. Okay, admin 123. Again, if I click on PIM, add employee, vacancies, everything is loading fast. PIM, add employee. Okay, so if for example, let us take another thing. So here we have the list of users. Now, if I take this user, select it and delete it. Once I click on delete, I have to wait until this is removed from this table. If it is not happening within the time, okay, delete records or okay, right? When I click on delete, I should it will be not deleted directly. I have to click again on this OK. Now, when I click on delete, it is opening very fast, but sometimes it might take some time, right? I have to wait until this OK button is displayed here. Understood? So
Yeah.
in those situations, I can apply WebDriver wait with my required condition. Okay. If I click on OK, now you see even after clicking on OK, it did not go right away. It took a little while, right? If you want to wait for that little while, you can use this WebDriver wait. Is that clear?
Yeah.
You understood or not? If you didn't understand, I'll take another example. I'll try to find another example. Please don't hesitate. You didn't understand?
I understood. I don't know about other two.
Okay. Bobby, Yanji, you got this point?
Yes, yes, Nikhil.
Okay. Okay, cool then. So here I was waiting for the attribute to be changed, but here we have n number of conditions that are already given by WebDriver wait. You see, attribute contains. See, I don't know the attribute exact value, so I can use attribute contains. And if you want, okay, alerts we are not yet there, so I'm skipping this. And element to be clickable. Sometimes, okay, if I go to here and if I go to add, this is clickable now by default. Where can we find some elements that are disabled until some duration? Okay, I got one. So when I click on it, all right. Now, will I be able to select any male or female now, or any fields? I won't be, right? I won't be able to open this, right?
Yeah.
I won't be able to edit until when? Until I click on edit. So this is in disabled mode. Now, if you want to wait until it is enabled, or until any element to be clickable. Understood? So I can use this element to be clickable. Now I won't be able to click on these elements as well because those are disabled. Once I click on edit, here it will be done within a span of time. But in some of the applications, it might take a little while to make to become editable field. So in those situations, you can use element to be clickable. Understood? And sometimes if you want to delete something and then check whether wait until that is successfully deleted, then you can use invisibility off, because invisibility means it will be removed from the page, right? You can use this invisibility off. Okay. And the number of elements to be, you add a user and then check the count of rows and wait for the number of rows to be increased. Okay, so like that you have so many conditions here. Text to be present or text matches. Okay, so we have title contains, title is. Once you click on login and you are verifying the title of the page, and your the title should match to this. Until that it will wait. So like this you have so many conditions. Based on the need, we can use whatever the condition we want. That is all about WebDriver wait. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
I see there is a doubt in that. You understood it confidently, right? You have confidence on what is WebDriver wait. Please respond. Then only I'll be able to understand. I'll try to.
It is waiting till it finds the attribute.
Yeah, it is waiting till the attribute of this particular element is attribute style of this particular element is changed to display colon none.
Okay.
Okay. So when it is getting changed, when we click on that,
So are we using this only for this display or we can use for different property too?
for any attributes you can use, for any attributes, but you should see the behavior, what is happening there first. Okay. All right.
So Nikhil, that 30 is for 30 seconds?
Yes, this is a default 30 seconds. You see WebDriver by default, it is asking timeout in seconds.
Oh, okay. So 30 seconds is the default. So we can still change like 60 seconds like that.
This
Like
is
what
your
we want?
wish. You can make it 1 second. You can make it
Oh,
60 seconds.
okay.
You can make it 180 seconds. It's up to you.
Okay, okay.
Based on the, up to you means we cannot directly keep 3000 seconds and wait, ask to wait for 5 minutes. It depends on the application, right? Once you click on the button, you will know when it is going to get
Okay.
loaded within 1 minute, within 2 minutes, or within 3 minutes. So based on that, we will use this.
Okay, okay.
We can give any time, but we will give optimized time because our script execution duration should not go longer. We are using automation to reduce manual efforts and to reduce the turnaround time. But if you are keep on increasing the time here unnecessarily, the execution duration will go longer than manual. So it will, people will think that automation is useless, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the reason we have to give optimized timings here.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Now let's go. This is WebDriver wait. That's all. I cannot show you the real, examples because here it is automatically loading everything, and I cannot show you the other applications where we use this because those are all our office applications and other applications. So on these demo applications, I can show you only that. Okay. So that is the reason I had to choose this example, changing the style. Otherwise, I could have chosen until the page is loaded or until that particular element is enabled or not, something like that. Okay. If you understood this concept, you can apply it anywhere. Fine, right?
Fine.
Yeah. Now this WebDriver wait, we can also write. Now here we have used the expected conditions, right? In the until, we have used the expected conditions which are by default given by Selenium. But there is a provision for this until we can write our own functions. We can write our own functions, our own code for that condition. For example, wait dot until, and inside this, you see it is taking a function, but this function is already returning by expected condition. So that is why it is not throwing any error. You see, this expected conditions is a function. Okay, but I don't want to use the default given by Selenium. I want to write my own function, Then I'll use new function, and I'll use this. Java.util.function. I did some, okay. Let me see. Yes. But generally, we don't use these user-defined functions, but if in case needed, we can use it. So that's why I'm showing that. Where is that? New function. Okay, I missed these parameters. That is what is throwing me an error. New function. This is going to take some parameters. Okay. And then here we are going to write our, or we are going to apply our code. Then this function is going to take two parameters. Those two parameters are, first one is the driver, what is the input that we are going to give, and second one is the type of the element, what is the output that we are going to give. Okay. So for suppose we have to pass WebDriver as input. Okay. WebDriver type, and for example I'm going to get the text out of this. Okay, so I'll mark it as string. That means inside this I'm passing WebDriver as an input and I'm getting string as output. That is the default behavior of the function. Okay, that is the default behavior of the function. What is the input that we are going to give, what is the output we are going to get from this method. Okay, every time, anytime, at any time, if you want to apply, if you want to write the code inside this function, you have to use the method name called only apply. Okay, and by default we are passing this driver object, so we'll say driver, something, some variable name, WebDriver. Okay, and then since this is a string here, this is automatically generated as string. Now for example, if I change it to int, now you see it will throw an error. You see what is it saying? Insert dimensions to come. Okay, sorry, this won't take like this. Now we see what is the error? Change the return type of apply to integer, because we are saying that I will give the input my WebDriver and I am going to get the output as integer. That is the meaning of this new function. This is the input parameter and this is the output parameter. Okay, but I'm saying I'm going to get integer, but inside the method I'm returning a string. So that is why it is saying please change this to integer. Understood? This is the syntax of this. This is a normal method that we are going to write in Java, but always we have to write this with the name called apply, and we are passing one input. So whatever the input we are passing, we will pass it to this, and then whatever we are returning from this, we will mention here. Okay, suppose I want to return a string, so I will mention string. Now the error is gone. So here we are returning null, but you can write your code driver dot. You can find something. You can find something, or you can perform the operations and then can return that particular value. Understood? So here, where did I use? Yeah, the same example, display as none. And then after waiting, I'm applying this find element txt usernames. Okay, I'm returning this element. Okay, I want to get a particular element. After waiting, I want to get a particular element, that is txt usernames. So I'm waiting for that particular element. So in that case, I'm returning a web element. So I mentioned web element. So let us do the same code here. Or if you want to show me the string example, I'll do one thing. Driver dot find element by dot id txt username. Okay, this is the username, right? txt username dot send keys admin. So I'm sending the keys. I mean, I am sending manually, and then I want to get the text from this. So how do I get the text from that particular element? After sending the keys, dot get attribute of value. If you want to fetch a value from a field, we are using this, right? To get the text from an field, we will use this get attribute of value. This will return a string. So I'm going to store inside a string variable, string uname is equal, and I want to return this uname. Return uname. Okay. Right. So this is the syntax. So instead of using the direct method, which is already written in expected conditions class, I am writing my own method for this WebDriver wait. Okay. Now this function is returning a string. So I want to store it inside a string variable. So I'm string. Third. That's all. You understood? This is nothing but our normal Java method. Normally we will write some methods, right? Same method, but I'm passing a WebDriver input, and then I'm doing some performance. I'm doing some operations. I'm fetching the text, and then I'm returning this text. Okay. So when I'm returning a string variable, so I'm keeping here. But to this, for this to be applied inside a WebDriver wait or for synchronization, we have to add this extra, because we are applying it on the until condition, right? Inside the until we are using these conditions. So to let this until class or until method know that this is a function, we have to write this. Understood? And for this function, we need to pass these parameters. First one is the input one, second one is the output one. Whatever the input that we are giving, we'll have to mention the input type here. And whatever the output type we are going to get, we will mention it here. So based on what is there here, we will store that inside the type of variable. Understood? Now see here, anyway, before clicking on this element, the style will not change. So it will not go into this line. So what I'll do is, once this is coming here, I'll manually click on it. Okay, I'll manually click on it so that the style will be changed and this will be applied automatically. Okay. Understood? Let me run this, show you. Okay, it is waiting for the attribute to change. I'll wait for 5 seconds and then click on it. Okay. Now you see it entered admin twice. Forget about the exception. That exception is because it is unable to click on the PIR. Okay. But if you observe the portal, it entered admin twice. Why? Because we are entering the username inside this function as well as after the function. Okay, I did not print it. Okay, let me print. See, so entered username is plus. Okay, then I can comment this because I don't want to show it. Enter the text twice. Here after fetching this, you can apply some conditions. If entered uname is something matching with something, then okay. If not, then okay. It's up to you what you want to do with the returned value. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, it is waiting for the element. Okay, waiting for the attribute to change. I'll wait for 5 seconds and then click on it. You see, entered username is admin. Did we get it? We got it, right? So how did we get entered username is admin? Because that value is returned from this function and we stored it inside the variable. So here, this complete operations will wait for 30 seconds. If this is not happening, you understood? Here it is how expected conditions is waiting for 30 seconds for the style to be changed. In the same way, this is also going to wait until this function, this complete function is going to perform these operations for 30 seconds. Understood? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, that's all about WebDriver wait. It's already 8:30. Uh, we will see Fluent Wait in tomorrow's session. Any questions in today's session about the WebDriver wait, about the synchronizations? Actually, I thought of completing both WebDriver wait and Fluent Wait today, but it's okay. Any questions?
I'm good.
Okay, cool.